All right, looks like we are live. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. I was live not so long ago. So good evening and welcome back online. Welcome back to this live broadcast. Welcome to this live broadcast, rather. My name is Maribeth Shima. I am the convener and the founder of the group Parenting Through Mentorship here on Facebook. You can also find us on Instagram and on YouTube. I am always excited to be on your screen, especially on Thursday evenings when we come here to talk about real issues that bother us. Real issues on parenting. Let's make this light a bit brighter. Okay, so when we come here to talk about real issues that come up in our parenting and how we can make a difference, okay, in our parenting, or how we can be effective as parents, how we can put ourselves together to nurture children who are wholesome, to help our children reach their full potential, and to help starts the journey towards our children finding the purpose for which they are created. So I like to pride myself, and in this community, we pride ourselves by saying that we are mentor parents. So I am a mentor mom, meaning I wake up every day and I wear my garment to mentor my children. So by the way I live, the things I say, the things that I do, how I do the things that I do, I am always conscious of this because at the back of my mind, my children are seeing me, and my children would do more of what they see me do than do more of what they hear me say they should do. So I embody what it is that I want to nurture, want to train, what I want to see in my children, the character that I want to see in my children, the skills that I want to see them embody, the habits that I want to see them live with. I try to embody that so that they can learn from me firsthand how to be that person and be more. Right? So I am the guide, and they can take their cue from me, run with it, and become even better people than I am, than we are as their parents. So for me, this is a goal, and that is the idea behind this group, that we are able to groom parents, or we're able to bring parents together who share the same vision, and we can support each other, support one another to reach this goal in the life of our children. Amazing. So if you join us, please, if you join me, let me know that you are with me. Let me know that you have joined. Okay, don't just stay in the background. The idea of a live session is that we come out and that we engage. So please feel free to engage when you come on the group. Let us know where you're watching from. So just type in the comments your name and where you are joining us from. I am streaming from Abuja, Nigeria. That's the capital of Nigeria. That's where I am streaming from. So please, by all means, let us know where you're joining us from, and let us know your expectation for this session. So today we said we are going to be talking about how we can support our children, or how we can help our children live exuberant life, how we can help them live a life that is whole, that is full, right? Because we believe, okay, in this, we've been dissecting purpose, right, in the last couple of weeks, okay, for about the whole of June actually. We've been trying to dissect purpose, the different components of purpose, the different things that come together, or that will affect, that will come together to affect our children's purpose, basically. So we have said many times that when we say purpose, we're not just talking about the career that your child is going to have. We're not just talking about the fact that your child is going to have a spouse, or is going to have a husband or a wife. It's more than that. So we said that purpose is a composition of many things. Your child's personality, their temperament, okay, their personality, their gifts, their talents, their experiences. All of these things will come together to determine the child's purpose. And we all know ultimately, because we are people of faith, that purpose, the purpose of our children is even predestined before they were born. Bible says that before we were created, before we were conceived in the wombs of our parents, that God already had conceived us and He knew what it is that we were going to be. Well, I mean, what He's creating us for. So basically, there is a purpose that's predestined, and it's our responsibility as parents to guide our children towards finding that purpose so that they can go ahead and live wholesome lives, happy lives, and all that. So, recently I was, of course, I was researching or reading one thing or the other. So I was actually listening to a video that had what's his name, Sadhguru, right? That's the name, the Indian author, and what does he even do? He's an author. He's spiritual kind of. He's yoga, right? He's a yoga expert and all of that. And I mean, I listen to him, from time to time, and there's a lot of wisdom in the things that he says. So he was saying that, perhaps there's no reason, right? He said that. I don't know. I probably have mentioned this once or so here, right? So he said, I mean, in his own belief, there's probably no reason, right? Or there would probably be no reason for you to wake up one day, probably when you are 40, 50, 60, wake up one day and begin to ask yourself, what is my purpose? So he believes that there's probably no need for that question, what is my purpose? Okay. Now, why does he believe this? He believes that if you are living an exuberant life, if you are living a full life, if you can see the essence of your life, if you can see the essence of your life already, then perhaps that kind of person would not wake up one day and ask the question, what is my purpose in life? So let's break it down. Okay, just come with me. Let's break that down. So this is it. You have this. I mean, you have the things you do in your life that you're happy about. You are where you want to be. You love what you do. You love, I mean, who you are. You know who you are. You love who you are. You enjoy who you are. You're with people who make you feel good about yourself. You're with people that you contribute in their lives. Then you can see, you can see in your everyday life that you're making a difference and you are impacting life, and you can see the result of the impact that you are making. Now, this is you as a person. You go to bed and you sleep well, based on what it is that exists in your life. You wake up in the morning and you are not afraid because you understand that life is a gift. You're here today and you're going to make the best of it while you're here. I mean, this is you. Your life is vibrant. Your life is an exuberant one. Now, Guru is saying, would you wake up, okay? This kind of person, would you wake up and say to yourself, Mary, what is your purpose in this life? Would you do that? So he believes that that question usually comes from a place of sadness. That question usually comes from a place of unfulfillment. Okay, when you are not fulfilled, when you are not happy with who you are or where you are, or when you do not understand what it is that you're doing here anyway, that's when that question comes up. So when I was listening, I actually did a lot of reflection, and a lot of what he said really made sense to me, like really, really, really. And then, I mean, at the end of the day, it came together. Like, we are saying the same thing, really. We are saying the same thing. We are saying, what is my purpose? Help your child find that purpose. Help your child find that thing that they love to do, that thing that they enjoy doing, that person that they love being, that person that they enjoy being. Help your child use the gifts that God has given them. Help your child identify with the things that they love and they are interested in. Now, help them use all these to make an impact, to make a difference in the world. Help them create value that can impact the world. Now, help them find these things. And we're not saying impose it on them. Bring them to the place where they can see life, that this becomes their mindset and this is how they live daily. Bring them to that place. When you bring them to that place, is there a chance that this person will not be happy? A chance is this person will be happy, will be fulfilled, because this person is not being dragged around. This person understands the essence of their life. This person is doing what it is that they love. And if that is the case, really seriously, they will not wake up and be asking some kind of question. So, I mean, either way, I mean, if the way Sadhguru Guru puts it, okay, and what we preach here and we say every day is, I mean, basically saying the same thing. So that's where this topic came from. So now, how do we help our children, beginning right now that they are young? How do we make them? How do we bring them to that place where they begin to live exuberant life? How can we ensure that our children, I mean, our children are living, they're taking baby steps, or they're identifying the things that I mean, they make that help them feel fulfilled. How do we make sure that our children are pursuing purpose? Our children are pursuing things that are productive. Our children are doing things that are in connection with their essence. How do we get our children to the point where they know who they are? That they know who they are, who God says they are. They connect with who they are, and they enjoy and love who they are. When this is the situation with our children, then we can say our children are making baby steps, or they are living, okay, they are living their short or their early lives or their short lives, right? They're living how far they've come, exuberantly. So basically, so how do we get our children to this point? How do we make our children these kind of people? That is what we're going to be looking at today. Okay, now, am I saying that your child, I mean, am I saying, or am I trying to tell you to look for a way that your child will never be unhappy, never be sad, like you will just have a child that is always mysterious, a child that's always happy and all of that? That's not what I am saying, because we all know that as children grow older, time will come, they are just moody. I mean, there's nothing. You wake up in the morning, nothing has happened, no one has done anything to them, wrong to them, and you just see a child pulling the face and acting off. Okay, that is possible. And that happens a lot as they grow older. I mean, they become teenagers. As they grow older, we see more of these things in the children. Now we need to pay attention as parents. You need to pay attention that it's just, I mean, because there are two things that could be happening to your child, right? There are two things that could be happening to your child that could be in the way of your child. I mean, and then one of them could be in the way of your child living an exuberant life. One of them could be affecting or hindering your child from living an exuberant life. So yes, your child could just be having mood swings that come with hormones, right? I mean, it's adolescence, they've outgrown that baby phase where they don't have no troubles in the world, where they go about like the world. I mean, everything is beautiful, there are no troubles in this world and all of that. So they've outgrown that stage, right? They probably have outgrown that stage, and then they've reached the stage where they have to deal with, the hormones are just triggering all over the place, and then sometimes you find that the children have mood swings and all of that, right? So beautiful. Now, how do you identify that this is just a mood swing and this is my child being really unhappy? Okay, you would need to make sure that you know your child enough, you're present enough, you are following up enough, or you care enough to understand that, okay, at this point, it's not just mood swings. My child is not happy. My child is an unhappy person. You may have to pay attention if you're going to be able to pick that this has moved from just moods, okay, and have moved to them being unhappy. So that's opposite of the exuberant life, is this point where the child is outrightly unhappy. So there are three major things that could make our children. I mean, if you are watching, please, I would like you to say something in the comments. Let me know that I have company. Let's know who is on board with us. Say something in the comments. Say hello. Okay, and let us know where you're watching from. Okay, beautiful. So now, there are three things that you want to watch out for as a parent. Three things that you want to, that could possibly be in the way of your child living an exuberant life. Three things that could be the reason why your child is unhappy. One of them is that your child could be lonely. Okay, your child could be lonely. Your child could be going through a period of loneliness in their lives. And the problem with this, what the problem with having this kind of situation is, if it is not dealt with, right? If it's not dealt with, if it is not identified and dealt with, this could move on and could turn to bigger things in the life of your child. Okay, this could move on and graduate to depression. Could lead to suicidal thoughts and suicidal things and all of that. Now, you need to pay attention as a parent. We need to pay attention as parents so that we can pick or we can identify when our children are not just having moods, but they have moved on to something else. Now, the first thing you want to do is you want to find out the source of this loneliness. You want to find out, you want to go to the root of it, you want to go to the bottom of it. So you want to ask yourself certain questions when you begin to notice that your child it's not just mood swings, it's deeper. You want to find questions like, you want to ask questions like, is this child, do you have a connection with your child? Like, do you, as a parent, do you have a real connection? I'm not saying, do you think you love your child, or is it that, does your child love you? Because many times we say to ourselves, we love our children are the most important things in our lives, and blah, blah, blah. But I am not talking of whether you love your children. I know you love your children. Chances are they love you too, no matter what it is that you do. Okay? Now the thing is, do you have a connection? Can you talk? Can you flow from one? Can you flow from one simple issue to deeper issues, and nothing is a problem? You can flow and all that. Do you have a connection? Do you have an understanding? Can they talk to you? Do you listen? You know what I mean when I say, do you have a connection with that child? Okay, if you don't, does your child connect with other members of the family? Do they have a connection with other members in the family? Are there people? Is there one or people, two people, their mother, their father, their siblings, that you can say for sure that they are connecting to? Do they have a friend, right? Perhaps in school, right? Do they have a friend perhaps in school that they are pretty close to, that they're connected to, that you can say for sure? Is there someone in your inner circle of friends, your siblings, that your child is connected to? So you want to ask yourself those kind of questions, because if you can find out that there's this kind of person or this kind of people in their lives, the people that they connect with, then you might be able to get to the root, or you might be able to pick. There could be feelers you can pick from these people, right? About why, this true situation, or something that your child has released or said, yes, to these people. Okay, so you want to find out that. Why are you trying to do that? You want to make sure that the problem is not from home. You want to make sure that the problem, or you want to identify where the problem is. Is it home? Is it school? Is your child having trouble in school and all of that? So you want to find that out. Now you want to also find out in school if your child is going through if your child is actually going through issues in school. Is it like your child has a friend that they have fallen out? Has he fallen out with a friend? Okay, does your child have a friend that has probably left? Is there someone that he's close to, and all of a sudden the person has had to relocate or has had to go to some other places, and the child is not handling it well? We need to pick these things. We need to identify these things. If your child is a teenager, is he struggling with a relationship? Is there someone that he likes that the person is not, reciprocating his emotions or feelings or whatever? You want to find out these things, and it's very key. The only way you can find out these things, or the only way that you can know these things for sure, is that you have a connection with this child. So you want to look at all of these things to your child is going to issues. So please, 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 please. All right, Chidima Prosper. Hi, it's good to have you, ma'am. Thank you. If you were here, just let us know you were here. Much for joining us. I see you. All right. So please, let's move on. So the problem is if you don't identify these issues, you don't find these issues, they could accumulate or they could graduate to other things. Now, if your child is lonely, gradually that child is going to withdraw from people. The child is going to withdraw from people, and because nobody is paying attention and nobody is helping the child, these little things will they gradually will become a habit. Okay, they'll gradually turn into a habit if nobody notices and everybody just allows it pass. Okay, some people even say, oh, I don't know what's wrong with her. She doesn't just like being with people. She doesn't like talking to people. She likes being by herself. Sometimes the child does not like being by herself. The child is just lonely and nobody is identifying. And because the child is not connecting with you, the child cannot even identify this feeling and come and talk to you about it. And you have missed that. You have missed it in the child's life, and then you just leave it and tell yourself, oh, she just likes being to herself. She's just snobby. She's this, she's that. No, or he's this, is that. The child is lonely and the child has removed himself and the child has become isolated. This will grow into bigger social issues because the child is not having interpersonal relationship. He's not able to build and have that skill to create interpersonal relationship because he is not having the chance to do these things with their friends. And then the times are even different with us right now. Okay, when we were younger, there was the opportunity where you go out, you play with people, you have problems in the playground, you fix your problems in the playground and all of that. The times that we have right now, our children do not have that much time to even go out, relate with their friends, have issues with their friends, fix their problem themselves. It is a situation where when our children even have conflict with their friends, the conflicts will go to adults. So even in school, they have conflicts. Adults, the teachers will have to come in. Adults will have to come in and resolve the conflict. But we even have worse cases at home. Our children come home and they have conflicts in school, and you see us as parents, the next day we will dress up and we will head to school to go and put the other child in their place. So we're not even allowing our children to understand relationships, build relationships, fix their relationships, and make amends in their relationships. So we are not allowing them get these interpersonal skills. So our children, so this kind of child that you don't identify, nobody's helping, the child is withdrawn, it will lead to even bigger or greater social issues in their social skills. Tomorrow, your child is not able to hold a business and run that business because the child doesn't even know how to make social connections. This is where it started from. So the issues, and I said that earlier in my session this evening, I had an impromptu session, and I said the problem with parenting is the fact that the problem in parenting is the fact that we don't get the outcome of our parenting immediately. So because of that, we go about doing like this and doing well. We turned out well, we're doing well. We give ourselves accolades and we're constantly clapping for ourselves when in truth, the repercussion or the result of what we're doing is, we can't see it yet. So sometimes it's only when your child is 25 and has to run a business and cannot take the business from point A to point B. You probably have run a business. You are the social guru. You are that mom that you drop one thing and everybody is there. Okay? You are that father that you have all the connections in the world because you know how to connect, you know how to make those business connections and all of that. But hey, your child doesn't know how to do it, and you are not even noticing that your child does not even know how to make common social relationships, okay? Deal with issues in their social life, deal with it themselves, fix it themselves and all of that. You did not even recognize that your child is lonely. You did not. And then you just accepted, oh, you're just snobbish. I used to be like, you're just snobbish. And then we will hear the ones, some parents will even go ahead and say, oh, I'm like that. I don't have friends. I don't have friends. I was like that. I'm like that. I just stay on my own and all of that. Okay, so your children grow and they don't have friends, and the times are different. The times are different. Their generation is going to be different. Our kids will have to be out there for things to happen for them. Okay, so basically, you want to pay attention to all of these so that you know if your child is lonely. Okay, if your child is lonely and if your child needs help. That your child is constantly playing with his phone every time he gets into a social gathering. You are there saying he likes phone, is a lie. Your child has a social problem that the child is struggling with and you are too busy to notice. Okay? So that's one of it. The next one is, it could be, I said your child could be lonely, right? The next thing is that your child could be going through an adversity. Okay, so our children could have adversities, and they don't know how to deal with them. So the truth is, our children, your child, children are different. There are kids that could, that could actually face up to adversities based on the kind of parenting that they've had, based on the experiences that they've had, based on how you connect with that child and the life skills and life experiences that you have related to your child. I do this a lot. I talk to my children about, my oldest is almost 12, and you will see me talk to him about a situation that is going on, a situation. I'm not saying go and tell your children every time when you're having fights with your husband, or when I'm not saying that. I'm saying there are situations, there are things that you go through that at their level, you just want to say to them, something, I am struggling with this right now, and all of that. You talk to them about it, and then talk to them about what you're doing about it, so that at the end of the day, when you come out of it, you have a win, and then you can come, oh, buddy, can you remember that thing I talked to you about? See what I did, and see the outcomes and all of that. So we want to allow our children see real life situations. We want to talk about our experiences with them. We want to share experiences with them, and more than anything, we want to allow our children have experiences. One of our biggest pitfall as parents today, yes, ma'am, very, very key, very important. One of our biggest pitfalls as parents today is that we shield our children too much. We shield our children too much, and we don't even understand how damaging this is, or we don't even understand how much we shield them. Our children come home, our children cannot go out, explore, they can't go out and play, they can't go out and get into conflict, they can try and fix their conflicts, right? Even the simple conflicts at home with the household. Okay, even the conflicts at home with the household. It's just, all you need is to hear your child shout from one space, leave me alone, and then you come and then you're telling the household, did I bring you here to come and correct him? Don't correct him, mind your business. We shield them from life. We practically shield them from life. A child comes back from school and the child tells you, my friend did this or said this. Tomorrow, you are there. In fact, some parents, do shameful things, sorry to say. We will even start by taking our phones and sending messages to the child's parents, as if the parents woke up that day and had a conversation with the child and said, something, go to school and show the reverse child. Go and show your reverse child, what you are made of. No, these are children. Even as spouses, even as siblings, we have misunderstandings, or we have conflicting views, isn't it? Even at home, they have these issues with their siblings. So how is it that they go to school and they have issues with their friends, or they have issues with their classmates, and you want to butt in when at home they have conflict? Let your children go back and fix their problem. Okay, so our children see small adversity and they crumble in the face of it, because we don't allow them, come face to face with these adversities. So when my son comes home and then he has a problem, sometimes it's even there was one time he came home and then he told me that one of his teachers, his teacher back then, a male teacher, actually hit him. Okay, that his male teacher actually hit him, and then when he told me what the teacher used to hit him, okay, in my head I went like swing. Okay, that's not okay. Okay, so I asked him, so what did you do about it? And it's like, nothing and all that. So I said to him, okay, so I want you, did you think it was okay? Did you think it was okay? Was there another way you think your teacher could have reached you as per this, whatever it is? And then when he told me, it was because he wasn't fast enough in what he was doing. Some very trivial thing, if you ask me. So I said to him, okay, I don't know why your teacher had to do that. He was probably going through something. It was probably, he probably just didn't understand you at the time. So I want you to do this. I need you to go back to school, and I need you to let your teacher know that you didn't like what he did to you that day. Now, how the teacher responds to him was going to determine if I had to go to school. Okay? So, and then when you finish with your teacher, let your teacher know that you had a conversation with your mother. So he went to school, he had this conversation with his teacher and all of that. So the next time the teacher saw me, I didn't have to go to the teacher. The teacher came to me and tried to like, he basically apologized, like, okay, this. I'm like, no, it's not a problem. He fixed this problem already, didn't he? So basically, we need to empower our children. We need to help our children understand that there will be, life is not rosy. There will be conflict. There will be adversities, right? We need to help them know how to go through these adversities. So yes, it's not a natural skill. It may not come naturally. So we would have to guide them. We will have to use examples, our own experiences, other people's experiences. Okay, we will have to show them the options, right? Let's show them the options that are available when they have an adversity. Show them the options that are available so that your child is able to see that there are options, and your child does not shrink in the face of a particular adversity because of their fear of what they cannot perceive, or what they cannot understand, or what it is that they're thinking in their head. Because as children, what they see is different from what we see. When your child has an adversity for the first time, okay, it's like the biggest, to the child, it could be like the world is about to end. Simple things could look like the world is about to end for your child. So you are looking at it as if it's nothing. It means a huge thing to your child. You're looking at the fact that your child just had a conflict, or just had a conflict with his best friend, and then he comes and he's really sad. He's feeling beat and really sad and all of that. Okay, after that, and you're looking at it like, come on, get out of here. Is it not just a human being? Is it your God and all of that? For you, it is nothing. For the child, it is big. So yes, if your child has come to you with an issue, it is important that you don't trivialize it. You want to meet your child at the point of your child's emotion. Please, parents, meet your child at the point of the child's emotion. Is he feeling torn? Is he feeling bad about the fact that his friend is not speaking with him, or they are having a conflict? Meet him there and tell him, I understand your pain. I understand what you're going through. Is he having a tough time because his friend just relocated, just moved from that school to another school? Identify with it, and then show the child options. Show them different options to dealing with situations like this. Okay, show them how they can deal with situations like this, so that your child knows that there are options available. Your child knows, yes, his life, his umbilical cord is not tied to this person, but you don't want to put it that way. You want to identify, you want to affirm what your child is going through, and then you want to show your child options. You want to show them how they can navigate through this challenge or this emotion that they are dealing with at that time, so that your child can deal with that adversity. Yes. Thank you, Chidima. When my child tells me, I ask him what he did to resolve it. Exactly. He tells me he told his teacher. Beautiful. So the moment you start paying attention to these things, or you start butting in and asking questions, what is it? The signal it is sending to your child is that you care. That's the signal. The signal, we think as parents that when we give our children clothes and food and gadgets, and we allow them ride in the best cars, that's when they feel that we care. No, let me correct that impression for you today. Your children feel entitled. When they are in the car, they know it's their father's car. So where else should they be? In the boot or in a gongoro? That is their father's car. That's where they should be. So they are entitled by nature. If you have a car, it's because we have a car. That's how your children feel. So when you buy those clothes, they have those clothes because they're entitled. It's their entitlement. So no, your child does not feel that you love them overly. And stop trying to stop doing those things and coming to tell your children, see all I do for you. I put you in the best school. I put you in when you're angry. I put you in the best school. See what we go through. You don't know how much school fees. It's their entitlement, and that's how they feel. The time that your child feels that you really care, surprisingly, or ironically, are the times that you she might laugh. Exactly, the times that your child feels that you really care are those times that you're concerned about his toy that just reads. The fact that you're ready to drop your handbag. You come in and she's really sad. Chunky dog just went apart. The other day, my daughter's kitty went apart. That's like her oldest toy. It's a plastic kitten and all that. It ripped apart, and she was, oh my god, you should have. She was crying. She was sobbing. That kind of crying on top a toy that is like 6 years old. So I dropped everything. Okay, I know that you love Kitty. I know that he's like your most special toy and all that. I understand how you feel and all of that and all of that. You will come and pass and you will say, look at this one. What kind of wahala is this one? Why is she sit down there? I'll be talking wahala. This is what my child feels is me caring. No, this is how it is, people. This is really how our children feel we're concerned. When you're concerned about that friend, when you're concerned about that toy, when you're concerned, it's those things that your children, because they know that they are not entitled to that one. Okay, so these other things, the clothes, the school fees, the whatever you did, they ask, you put them in any school. They don't care. It's entitlement. The only time they really care is that you remove them from one school and you take them to another school. And trust me, they do not. What they feel about it is not that you have moved them from a school that is less privileged to a higher one or whatever. They don't care about those things that you see or the reason. Okay, the only thing that your child will feel at that time is the friend that is leaving from one school and going to another that doesn't have friends. To tell you how the things that are important to us are not the things that are important to our children. So you need to find out what is important to your child and you need to deal with that. So the other day I was reading an article, right? I was reading an article about John Harrison. Right, John Harrison, he's a public speaker, a public speaking coach and all of that. When he was a young man, he stuttered like crazy. He couldn't say his name. He could not say his name straight. Like he would stutter. He stammered. He had a really bad case of it. Okay, so while he was working with his father in his father's copyright company, okay, he would go there and he would avoid being with people. He would avoid coming around where people are because of his situation. Okay, because that's an adversity, isn't it? When you have an impediment, so that's on its own, it's an adversity. So he avoided being with people because of that impediment. Okay, and he was a very sad person. He became really very sad. Do you know what he did? One day he packed his bag and he left New York where he was with his family and went somewhere else. He went somewhere else away from family, everything, and then he went to be with himself. He wanted to know who he was. And while he was going through that, he realized that he loved public speaking. Realized that he loved public speaking, and so he started training himself, got training and all of that, and today he is a public speaking guru. He is writing speeches and teaching actors and great people how to make speeches. So what we're saying is, when you allow your child understand how to face the adversity, come face to face with that adversity, you will be amazed at how good they will be at dealing with adversities. And we need to bring our children to this place. If not, we will continue to fix their problem. They will completely begin to rely and depend on us. So at the end, they cannot make informed decisions. They cannot deal with the issues that come up in their lives, and they go like that. And then the next thing, they go into relationships, they go into jobs, they go into career, they run businesses, and they cannot hold their head up because they have conflict with everybody, conflicts with their employees, conflicts with their what do you call them, their partners, conflict, and they cannot make anything work. Yes, you cannot evaluate or go back to the drawing board as a parent. You will never do that one and see that it started from the fact that when the child was dealing with when the child had the issue of dealing with adversity, and that made the child sad, or unhappy, you did not identify and help the child through that situation. Okay, and then the last one is technology. So let's make this very fast. The last one is technology. When you find out that your child is unhappy, The moment you find that your child is unhappy, one of the places you want to look at immediately is technology. How exposed is your child to technology? Do you have a media plan in your house? Do you have a media policy in your house? Does your child have a phone? Does your child have access to technology and to gadgets and all of these things? At what point in their life? Mind you, I did not ask at what age, because it's not an age thing. It is a point thing. Where is your child? Where is your child in his life? Can your child navigate? Can your child understand the use of that gadget? Is it impacting your child positively or negatively? How much time is your child spending on it? Does your child spend all his day writing a comment or writing a post on Instagram or any of these many platforms, and spends his whole day going back and forth to see how many people are liking and not liking? And then before you know it, your child is depressed. He's depressed or he's unhappy, and then it drags into a depression just because people are not liking his comments and not liking his picture. This era where children want to do all kinds of things on social media just because they want to get the satisfaction of, oh, beautiful, nice, you're cool, awesome, all of that. And then your child puts it out there and nobody's shouting awesome and beautiful. And then he goes to his friend's page and that one has like 1 million followers and has like 300 likes every time you post a picture, and automatically your child just becomes an unhappy child, and you are there. He doesn't like being with people. Every time, look at you, Sue is here every time. You be frowning. You're the only one. You're get out of here. You're not looking at the root cause. You're not seeing what the problem could be. And then it graduates to bigger things and bigger things and bigger things. So you want to pay attention to that. You want to pay attention to things like that and be sure that technology is not making your child unhappy and you are not even understanding it. That wonderful iPhone that you bought for your 10-year-old, that amazing Samsung phone that you gave to your 11-year-old, that you just handed to them, whatever I call them, the iPads and all of them. Okay, that subscription that you pay and your child has access to Netflix and this one and that one and that one. Let it not be the reason why your child is sad. So you need to regulate these things. You need to pay attention to the effect it has on your children, and you need to make sure that it is not standing in the way, or they are not standing in the way of your child living an exuberant life, because your child's purpose depends on the fact that your child, partly on the fact that your child is able to live an exuberant life. So imagine that your child lives an exuberant, a full life right through their preteen, and then they get in as teenagers, while other teenagers are struggling with what's happening on social media, struggling with this, struggling with that. Your child is focused. Your child is productive. Your child knows how to regulate, knows when to be on social media, knows when not to be on social media. Your child has control of all of these things, not because it came from heaven, because you took him through and you taught your child the how. Now tell me, if your child lives through his preteen exuberant life, lives through his teenage exuberant life, it becomes a habit. And then tell me how that child will wake up at 45 or 35 and begin to ask himself, what did I come to this life to do? On the contrary, a child that has been sad in secondary school, always sad because he cannot play with his friends, he cannot be with people, because he's gone through all of that. A child that doesn't know how to deal with his adversities, adversaries, a child that doesn't know all of this, and then the child has to deal with how many people like him, how many people do not like him. That turns, of course, into a self-esteem issue. Of course, that will affect your child's confidence, isn't it? And the child has to deal with all this, and then he grows up, his working place, in his working place, in the conflict with this one today, with that one tomorrow, and then he leaves that job to job B, job C, job D. By the time he gets to the 5th job, he's going to wake up one day at 3 a.m. and he will ask himself the question, what is my purpose in this life? And that is what we don't want our children to do. That is what we don't want for our children. And so that is why we're going to start looking at these issues. right now. So let's look quickly at how we can mitigate, or how we can do what we can do, or how we can support, or how we can help our children. Okay, so first thing first, the moment you notice your child has any of these symptoms, or has anything that looks like this, you see this is not just moods here and there, because if this is moods, the child will have the moods once in a while, the moods will go away, the child will have a mood, and then you come and you talk to the child calmly and all of that. Hey sweetie, what's going on? I noticed you want to be alone? Do you want to talk to me about it later? Okay, I'll be in my room when you're ready. You will find that after a bit, the child will come and knock and talk to you, or the child just swings out of it. He's just looking for attention most of the time. And hey, he's gotten it from his lovely darling mom, or he's got it from his very concerned dad. So those mood swings, they will come, but they will go when the atmosphere is right at home. Okay, so if you notice that it's not just one of those mood swings that come and go, then you want to dive in and see where the issues are. Okay, I said that at the beginning. You want to find out, does he have someone close to, apart from you, in the house, his auntie, his cousin, your friend, and all of that? Has he said anything to this person? Is it school? Do you want to go find out and all of that? So you want to do that, get to the core of it, okay, and find out, is he home? Is he school? Okay, find out what the issues are. Right? The next thing you want to do, you want to try and connect with your children every day. Connection is an everyday thing. I don't care if you live in Los Angeles and your children live in Otukpo. Connect with them. Thank God for technology. Connect with them. Do the video calls every day. Even if it's just 2 minutes. Hey, buddy, how was school today? What happened today? Give me gist. Give me gist. Sit down there. You know something? Don't even ask them to give you gist. You start the gist. Oh my word. Do you know what happened in the subway today? This, you're about give them gist. When you finish giving them gist, they will give you gist. 2 minutes is just fine, but you need to connect with your children every day. You come back, you are tired. Come into the house, even if you've had a bad day. When you get to the door, adjust yourself and say, okay, let me just pretend for 5 minutes. Come in. Who is in this house? Do I still have my people here? And then they run, hey, daddy, what's up? Oh, guys, I had a hard days, but come to my room, come and tell me quickly, what was your day like? All right, you have 1 minute, tell me. And then they'll go, they will laugh, and then they'll tell you, Okay, that's enough. That's a you, what was your day like? And then that one will laugh and tell you, okay, you guys, big up. Daddy needs to rest now. 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes tops, and you are done. You have connected for that day. The next day you come. So what do? Bring your French book. Let me see. Pew, 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 pew. Oh, I did this in French. Oh, you read 2 lines and everything. You laugh about it. Okay, that's enough. You go now. Daddy needs to rest. The next day you come in. What happened today? Taekwondo. So what happened? You come and show me the moves you learned. Chew. Really? Okay, let's do a fight. And then you try. And then connect with your children every day. Talk to them. Read a book together. Read aloud. Read a book to them. Let them read to you. Okay? Let them talk. Listen to them. Tell them about your day. Tell them, have this connection with your children. Make the weekends count. Go out. Plan dates with them once in a month, whatever. Just make sure that you are intentionally connecting with your children. Then you'll be able to identify when there are problems to deal with. Okay, identify with their emotional needs. What are they going through? Affirm whatever it is that they are going through. As I said before, affirm them. Get into that feeling with them. Let them know that you understand, and then help them give options and help them see options that they can use to deal with whatever adversities that they are going through. Okay, so teach them to analyze situations. Let them analyze situations so that they can feel less intimidated by those situations and the uncertainty of those situations. Let that happen. Teach them, show them. Okay, so allow your children to fail. Don't be afraid to fail. Okay, and when you judge your children too much, you're constantly judging them. They fail something in school, you make big of it. You seize all their toys. You make a big deal of everything. Your child will see it this way, as you constantly judging them, and your child will start hiding the things that they perceive as what will make you judge them. I've even seen a child that went ahead to doctor his report card. A child in elementary school, yes, I'm not talking, a child in elementary school, even in, I mean, the result was not written with pen. It was typed to tell you how desperate the child was and to tell you that he's just a child. He actually went on. I'm not talking of a child in a Agoniki primary school, any of those things. I'm talking of a child. I'm talking of a child in a standard international school. Yes, he went ahead and used pencil to try and doctor it to tell you the level of ignorance, but and then the level of desperation. So that can only happen to a child who knows that, in quotes, he's dead if they see this result. We don't want to do that to our children. You would just be grooming a hypocrite. That's the truth. You will be grooming a hypocrite. Your child will just be a hypocrite in your house. You will be there thinking that I mean, they know me, I don't take nonsense. Hey, be doing all that one. Everyone around you is a hypocrite. When you're not there, they become themselves and then they do all sorts. The day you will find out, you will pass out. Okay? So allow them fail, allow them face adversity, allow them try using options to figure out a way out of the adversity. So treat them, okay, exactly. So shaming, name calling, shaming, that thing you do, okay? Bullying parents, exactly, Chidima. Bullying parents. Okay, that thing you do when your child makes a mistake and then you say to them, even the threats, even if you don't come around to doing it, I will come to your class and disgrace you. The brain will pick it. The brain will pick it at some point, even when it has not happened. Your child knows what it feels like because it's in his subconscious, and sometimes he's able to picture the things in our subconscious. We're able to picture them sometimes. Okay, it's in his subconscious, and he's able to picture what it feels like to be in a classroom where he's being shamed because you keep threatening him that you will come to the class and shame him. So that child has had that experience in his head, even while it has not happened really, because you're constantly threatening them. Don't threaten these children. And then stop with the name calling. Stop telling them how silly how lazy they are, how this. It is registering. The brain will tell them every time you're lazy. So when real life situations come in, he hears your voice, you're lazy. And so you relax now. Everybody already knows that I'm lazy. Case you need to stop that. Stop telling your child how fat they are. Stop telling them how fat. Look at you, all your friends are you're just fat and everything. You will be amazed how these simple things mean big to your child, and how your child holds on to this, and how this might just be the reason why your child's self-esteem would never get a boost or would never move from potential to kinetic. Okay, your child's self-esteem. You just break that child. You break the child's spirit. Yes, the power of spoken words, you just break the child's spirit without even knowing it. And that's the reason your child goes about for 10, 20, 30 years of their lives without even knowing. Even the child at a point will not be able to put a finger on why exactly it happened. But you dear parents, you started it, and you are the reason that the child got in there. So stop with that. Reduce screen time if you notice that your child is beginning to have all this. In the first place, you should have some sort of boundaries, policies around screen time. My son is 12. He's going to be 12 in a couple of months. He doesn't have a phone. He doesn't need a phone. And then I said to him one day, from time to time I said to him, okay, he was saying to his sister and my niece the other day, that in his class everybody has a phone except him. Okay, so my daughter mentioned it, my 5-year-old at the time mentioned it. I'm like, okay, this one that he said it. So I called him up and I'm like, oh, I heard you're the only one that doesn't have a phone. He was like, oh, yes, that they had a conversation in class today, and they were all saying and all that. So everybody realized he was the only one without a phone and all that. And I'm like, oh, do you feel bad about it? He was like, no, I'm just saying. I was just telling them about what happened. Class, mommy, I don't need a phone yet now. Sure, you said it. Handing me a phone now when I don't know how to go about it is like handing me a car key without teaching me how to drive. I said, absolutely. So at any point you get and you think that you need a phone, please come and make a case. Let us see how, why, and what you need a phone for, and what you need to do with that phone, so that we can understand what it is. Okay. No, I don't. I mean, I look at it this way, really. Like when we get to the point, if you can make a case about your phone and you need to phone, by all means. Oh, but no. There's a very tiny one where I'm not at home. I can call. But you see, the what do you call it? The smartphone. No, we're not ready for a smartphone until we know how to navigate the World Wide Web. The world. I mean, the entire world is right here. So do you know what to do when you get to the face of the entire world? You know what to do. If you don't, then we'll have to learn that. When we finish learning, how to handle the world, then we'll have a phone. All right. So it's different. I mean, it's different for different people. But what I'm saying basically, you don't hand a child a phone until you're sure your child knows what to do with the phone. Okay. Phone to call parents and parents reach you. No, that's why I said not a smartphone, the normal twin phone that you just dial and then the what they call them now, the digital phones or what the ones that I mean we have phone that we can reach you. That's fine. I'm talking of a real smartphone where you can go there and and do whatever you want to do. All right, get your children to do chores, please. When they do chores, okay? Yes, Nokia, exactly. So when they do chores, they get a sense of accomplishment. When your children start doing chores, they get a sense of achievement and achievement. They begin to know that they are, I mean, there's a value that is placed on them. When they know that the entire house is going to stay in a clean house because they clean the house. When they know that, oh, they are these, I mean, the cups are available because I did it. Okay, and remember to say, oh, well done to them. Okay, well done to them when they finish what they're doing and all of that. Let them do chores. And by all means, if your child is ready to take on an endeavor, if your child is ready to take on a responsibility by way of business, creativity, or anything, wants a platform where he can express himself in a certain area, by all means, allow them do it. What you're doing is you're going to be boosting your child's ego. You're going to be, sorry, self-esteem. You're going to be boosting their esteem. You're going to be making them responsible. You will make them show up every time. That makes them feel a sense of relevance. And this is how your child will have a full sense of self, a high self-esteem. This is how they will feel fulfilled. This is how they will live an exuberant life. And then when they get into the habit of living this way, they won't wake up at 3 a.m. one day and ask themselves, what is the purpose of my life? Because they would see the purpose of their lives. So thank you very much, everyone. Have you ordered your copy of Mentor Parents, How to Support My Child to Find Purpose? That's our new book. Okay, my son is reading a book, Baby Steps, The Diary of a Child on a Mission, and I have my new book, Mentor Parents, How to Support Your Child to Find Purpose. Two amazing books you cannot afford to miss. So it's still up on pre-order. You can see order for 4,500 naira. It's not on Amazon yet, but it will be on Amazon when it is out. Okay, so we're hoping that by second week in July, book will be out and we will have it on Amazon straight up, not like our first book, Bedtime Stories for Champions, where we had, we've had a lot of issues getting bedtime stories for champions, paperback on Amazon. But we have it on Amazon, Kindle. You can get bedtime story on Amazon Kindle. But this one we're going to have paperback and all of that. So please go ahead go ahead and order your copies of this amazing book and other resources that we have in the group. You can check out our website. We have resources, free downloads. Go there, download how to be 20 ways to be a super smart, or 20 ways to be 20 ways that smart parents parent their children. Go there and download it for free. How to be an enabler parents. Go there and download for free. Our back to school package. Go there and download for free. And then we have our guides. You can download our guides for 1,500 naira. Amazing guides. How you can create a template. I mean, templates that you can use to create structure in your home. Go there and download just 1,500 naira. And then we have bedtime stories for champions right there. You can buy and get a hard copy for just 3,000 naira. And then the new book, 4-5, at the end of this week, 7 days exactly today, it's going to become 6,500 naira. Why pay more when you can pay less today? Thank thank you very much. Chidima, I see you. For anyone else, thank you for everyone who joined us. Thank you for being here. If you're catching the replay, please write in the comments replay and let us know where you're catching the replay from. Let me see. You keep calling them lazy. They keep being lazy. Exactly. Get a phone and put restriction. Me, I'm not even putting restriction yet. When we get there, we'll get there. All right. So, but if you know you can handle, the children can handle it, your restrictions will work. Let's be as realistic with ourselves as possible. Let's not be the ones that are setting our children up for failure. So just make sure that you have it. I mean, you understand what you're doing, they understand what you're doing, you're on the same page, and you are there paying attention so that you can get, feel as if there is anything you need to nip in the bud. Okay, clean up their room. Exactly. I discovered that myself and praise. Okay, I discovered in myself and I praise them for making noise in the house that I have that I have responsible sons. Okay, that's amazing. So thank you very much. Okay, for joining, and let us know if you caught the replay. Have a lovely, lovely evening. Bye. All right, bye, PTM people. We are always excited to be here, and thank you for making us a part of your parenting journey. Bye. I'm supposed to be ending this and it's saying